You over here talking. Hold on. For some reason it's
Just buffers.
you're live. What is this? What is going on? 3 hours and 31 hours. 40 minutes. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is 31 hours, 41 minutes.
It's on.
Come on, bro. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. Slovakia means. Open it, Tom.
Hey, Shalom Akim. We want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching truth and for ruling well. And peace and salutation to all you Akim out there pushing and defending his gospel throughout the four corners of the earth, as well as to the believers in Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the men as well as the women, the hopeful elect. You know, we the brothers from the Gmshawaii, and we out here once again, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, you know, to prophesy unto our people of the coming, you know, a judgment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to bring upon those of our people that don't believe in the Lord, and also to preach the good news, the gospel, the salvation unto those that do believe, man. But as, you know, we were going into, you know, the topic of the week, you know, we're talking about the wicked of our people, the ones that have sold out knowingly. You know, you have a lot of our people in these religions thinking they following God and, you know, doing the good things. They're deceived as well, and they're doing evil as well. But you have the you would call them the so-called nobles of our people, you know, which are these jakes that are in elite levels, whether they're celebrities, athletes, doctors, lawyers, whatever. These people, they've been shown the left-hand side, man, and they've accepted what comes with it, man. You know, and Diddy and all these other artists and these other jakes that have accepted that Satan worship, you know, you're gonna all be judged, man. There's not gonna be one of you, least you repent, that is gonna escape the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And just how Esau has glorified you, you know, in the eyes of men by doing wickedness and destroying yourselves, your own people. Guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is gonna put your name to shame through the Spirit, man, by bringing out all the dirt, all the wickedness you've done upon the earth.
Well, the scripture says that there's nothing here that shall not be brought to light. Roughly paraphrasing. Real quick, I got a precept for you. This is Jeremiah 2:21. It says, "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?"
That's right, man. And, you know, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai created us for what? To bring glory unto him through our actions, man. You know, by doing and the righteous acts, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, carrying ourselves out in a righteous manner. So he planted us to be that noble and righteous seed, man. But our people, because they first and foremost, they disobeyed, we all disobeyed, and we being punished for our sins. Now Jake wants to find another way, a way around, you know, going through the punishment. Instead of humbling down and saying, you know what, I fucked up, like the scriptures say, or I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. You know, Jake doesn't want to accept that they did wrong. And they just want to say, you know what, let's find another way out to that blessing, you know?
And this is Proverbs 12:26. John.
Proverbs 12:26, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
Yeah, and that's why you see Jake selling out. This is the reason why you see all the shit that these so-called celebrities that are being thrown to the wolves right now. They're doing it. They're doing what Esau did. They're doing what the wicked does, right? You thought that Diddy was on a high level because every time he turned around, he kept yelling, "I'm a billionaire." That's like the max window a nigga can get. And then they asked that nigga 50 Cent. They said, "Yo, you wealthy now? You getting world wealthy? You want to be a billionaire?" He said, "I don't want to be a billionaire right now." Right? And why is that? Because that's their cap. Once you become a billionaire in this society, you're gonna go down. It's only enough room for a certain amount of niggas to be held at that kind of esteem, right? Which $1 billion, $3 billion, $4 billion, $200 billion, that ain't shit compared to what the super elite worth. They're in the trillions, man. They talking about Elon Musk about to be the first trillionaire. No, he not. The super elite already at, you know, because he got all those government contracts, and they sell out too. These are super elite, not super elite. These are lesser luminary that they set up to have you thinking that. I was watching this video. This Edomite was saying that. He was saying that like they had you thinking that what's this nigga him Bezos, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk are the richest men in the world. He said these are not the richest men in the world at all. You know, and it's the truth. You know, and money is not the money that gives you the influence. You might think it is, but in this society, it works on Satanism, occulted knowledge, on a high level. And the shit that nigga Diddy was doing is no different than what the super elite are doing. The only difference is that this nigga can get convicted and they can't.
That's right.
Right? That's all it is. So you pushing this spirit to be like them. Hey, this is envy not the wicked, neither desire none of his ways. But the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. But the ways of the wicked seduces them. Why? Because they see the benefits that the wicked get in this world. So it don't, in their mind, it's like, look, I'm gonna do what they're doing, not realizing you're a son of the Most High. You're more noble. You're set down here to be more higher than all nations on the earth. But the ways of the wicked seduce you because you're trying to get out of a box that you've been put in, the judgment. And even going through what you're going through now, that's judgment, right? The Lord let you party for a little bit. You think 30 years is a long time? 31 years is a long time? In the eyes of the Lord, it's not. That ain't shit. So you get the moment of prosperity, but in the end, you go down. Because in the end, it shows you're no bigger than the Lord's program. And that's what Esau thinks he is. Esau thinks he's bigger than the Lord's program, not realizing he is the program, and he's playing right along how the Lord designed him to be. But Jake, they envy this man's prosperity. All right, did you find it, bro? Go ahead, bring it up.
Psalms 37:1, it says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity."
That was it. Neither desire neither his ways. That was just type that in. Desire neither his ways. That was a good one too. You got it again. Read it again.
That was.
I thought that's what you went to. What you go to?
No, I was looking at the NLT from Psalm 37 says, "Don't worry about the wicked or envy." Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Yeah. I'll read it again.
Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
And that's what Jake is. Jake is envious of this man. When we was coming up, they had shows called like Life of the Rich and Famous.
Oh yeah.
Right? You used to see shit like that, like, oh man, I wish I could live in a mansion. You don't even know what it takes to even run a fucking mansion. What kind of income you gotta get? You just see the lifestyle. And that's what Jake gets. And then it goes from the lifestyle, then you start seeing what this man do behind closed doors, and the power over other people.
Yep.
The power to manipulate and abuse and destroy yourself and other people at the same time.
Yep.
That's what Esau does. Right? But see, niggas is flashy. Niggas is not circumspect. Like Esau, he do this shit and you would never know he did it. A nigga do it, he got to tell everybody. Yep. He got to show everybody. He got to be flamboyant with it. He got to be extra. Esau don't like that shit.
And a good example of that is that the the evildoers who run this world, the wicked elite, as we call them, you don't hear about them. You don't hear about them on the news, on the radio. That's the way they want it.
Yeah.
They want you to believe that they don't exist.
Yeah.
They want you to believe that somebody like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk is going to be the richest people in the world. Oprah Winfrey, as Apostle Ta'ar used to say, if the wicked elite had Oprah Winfrey's money, they'd cry.
Or they'll kill themselves.
They kill
wouldn't even
themselves.
cry.
Yeah, they
would-
kill themselves.
First of all, they make money. They create money.
They create money.
All they got to do is pick up the phone or send a letter, and it's done.
Think about that.
Right? That's what it is. It's not the money. Right? I always say, money is not Jacob's problem down here, man. It's spiritual, bro. But Esau has showed you and has deceived you in thinking that money is the root cause of all your ills and problems, and it's not. First of all, the love of money is the root of all evil. Why do you love what you think is money so much, man? Because Esau told you that, right? And then you wonder why the shit happens. A nigga, I was saying, I did a lesson this morning. The ones you call billionaires or rich, black wealthy people in America, they're normally first generation. So that means they got generations behind them that are poor. So nigga, you a target.
Yeah.
You a target in your own home, in your own family. You a target in the streets. Now, I remember I seen a video a long time ago. Jay-Z supposedly visited some relatives in Brooklyn with Beyonce. These niggas was sitting in the basement. I was like, what the fuck? She was on the floor. She was sitting on the floor. I was like, yeah, these niggas is far. You're not going to see Evelyn or Rothschild sitting on the fucking floor in a basement somewhere, bro. Unless he's doing some satanic shit. Super satanic shit. Well, he's dead now. Which it's crazy. I was watching, I'm going to get back on that point. But I was watching, I watched that nigga funeral last week on YouTube. His funeral's on YouTube. It was held in a liberal synagogue. The rabbi was a woman and shit. So for some reason, I guess because I watched that video, they recommended another video from the same people. And these motherfuckers holding Sabbath service with a woman in the yarmulke. I was like, yeah, this nigga's all of them. And the same, I was like, this is the same church they had this nigga funeral in, bro. I mean, everybody who was somebody was in powerful shit, was in that fucking room. Small room. Had David the Rothschild, his son, whom I don't believe they got along. I think they had some type of friction. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, they had Bill Clinton up in there, Tony Blair was up in there. You know how secure that room had to be, bro? And so again, they showed you that's power. Even they ain't really got power. The nigga Bill Clinton was talking about how he loved Evelyn the Rothschild, how they had a great relationship. Like he taught him how to do all these certain things. And then when the nigga's funeral was over, his bodyguards came in, bro, and these niggas bowed to this nigga's casket, bro. They bowed like that. I was like, oh yeah, he had power. Like they don't do that shit with no random niggas. They bowed to this nigga casket. He wasn't a service member. He ain't put his life on the line. None of that shit. This nigga was high level Satanist, and everything in his room was black. Then they had the nigga drape over his coffin. They had a black drape over his coffin, just like when the Queen Elizabeth died. They broke a wand, right? People didn't understand what that was happening. They thought it was the scepter that was breaking. No. That was her wand that broke, and they buried it with her, yo. Because she was a high level witch. Like she could do things. She can do things that Jake could never do. So Jake around here partying. You know, it's crazy because going back to our subject. Can you read that again?
Psalm 37:1. Fret not thyself because of evil doers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Yeah, reading the NLT.
NLT. Don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong.
Yeah, that's right, man. Because ultimately the wicked is going to get their judgment.
Yeah.
You know, you got niggas that get upset. Well, where was God when all this was happening? Slavery and da-da-da-da-da. You know, what kind of God would do this? Why? And the white man still ain't paid. He out here living his life. So what, nigga? That shit's going to come to an end. Just like Diddy's run comes to an end. Is get Job 14:5 real quick. And I want you to get what you got.
Job 14 and verse 5. Job 14 verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
And that's it. This man can't go no further than what the Lord allow him to go. Right? I don't give a fuck what kind of plans he got. All that shit just gonna get him more and more into a situation he can't get his ass up out of, which he already in that situation. He can't go no further than what the Lord allows him to go. All this 2030 agenda, all this new world order, and all this super prison that they're trying to create, a digital prison they're trying to create via the market of beast, the MOTB, the RFID microchip. That shit ain't gonna fucking pan out for him. All we read in the scriptures is how it's gonna fail. How it's gonna, because it's not his mark. This system is not his. The Lord allowed him to have this. The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua created this. He said, I create good, I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things, man.
Ooh, that's fire.
You know what I'm saying? So how the fuck how you think that you running anything? But see, our people, they're envious of this man. They see how this man living, and it's constantly pushing in our face. You gotta have more. You gotta want more. Even if you have more, I need more and more. Yeah. And that's what leads you to go. What the scripture says about riches throwing you into a hurtful lust.
Oh yeah,
right? Roughly paraphrasing that precept, it says it speaks about while some covet after. Get that real quick.
Well, I got a quick precept.
Bring it up.
Romans. Romans 8 verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. Now that nigga Diddy was carnal. 2/3 of Israel is carnal. They don't have a spiritual mind. They can't receive the spiritual food that we've received from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And being carnal leads to destruction.
Well, they wasn't meant to receive it.
They wasn't meant to receive it.
The Lord didn't create them to receive it. He said he blinded their eyes.
That's right. Romans 8 verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity.
So when if you're in a carnal mindset, you always gonna be at odds with the Most High.
That's right.
Because the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, are spiritual, man. Right? They see above the carnality. Carnality is of the flesh.
Of the flesh.
Right? And you're led by the flesh, and the Lord don't lead by the flesh.
That's right.
He lead by the Spirit.
What did Yahweh say? Man cannot live by bread alone, but on every word that comes out of the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Roughly paraphrasing. Being spiritual is more powerful than being carnal.
Well, see, you know, only time a nigga gets spiritual is if he see Esau doing it. But the only way Esau can be spiritual, can even touch spirituality, is on the left hand side, and he got to do wickedness to get it.
Yeah, and it's through the flesh.
Yeah, through the flesh.
Because it's like, you know, when you do witchcraft and all that shit, it's literally shown to you, like the power is shown to you, like, you know, that's why people like to play with the Ouija board and shit, because it's like, in their mind is like, let's see if this shit really happens, like if these demons really move, these spirits really move my hands and whatever. So they're looking for a carnal response, and that's what witchcraft does, man. You do a ritual and then you get some sort of power, like a carnal blessing. And through the right hand side, you know, we do these works in the hopes that in the long run we get that blessing, man. And we see the spiritual growth in us too. But hey, in a world run by wickedness, spiritual growth is not considered riches or something, you know, to boast about.
Something carnal.
Yeah, something carnal. So the world sees it as like, what the fuck, that religion or this, or, you know, they see it as something foolish, like the scriptures say, you know, that to some Yahushua is foolishness unto them, man. And this is how the world sees the men of the Lord, like, oh, you men are foolish, like you believing in something that is not real, you know, but yet they would go to a warlock or a witch because they can show them, like, look, the spirits do exist, look, do this and I'll show you how they exist.
Yeah, you see motherfuckers eating glass,
yeah,
weirdo shit, and it's like eating glass, pouring salt down their fucking throat, just wild shit they doing to try to be spiritual because they don't have faith.
That's
and the scripture says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Even speaks about how we haven't seen the Lord with bodily eyes, yet we believe. Right? It takes faith to have that, to do that. Somebody that wants to murder another person, destroy another person, so they can for their own gain. That's because they don't have no belief. Right? They don't understand. They don't have the spiritual mindset or the spiritual acumen to understand what's really going on. The only time they get spiritual is when they do some wickedness.
Yeah.
What you got, brother?
I'm looking for faith. Faith is a gift.
That's in Ephesians.
Yeah, Ephesians. Faith is a gift from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So if you don't have faith, which the majority of the people on this earth don't, then the Lord just ain't dealing with you. He hasn't gifted it to you. We believe through the Spirit that we have faith. That's why we're out here. Faith without works is dead, the scriptures say. We prove our faith through the works that we do. We come out here every week in, week out. We do lessons and so forth and so on. That proves our faith through the works that we do. I mean, what more can you say about that?
And all that goes to the, you know, to the predestination of the elect, man. You know, all this is to show, you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is showing who his elect are, man.
That's right.
You know, he's pointing out who the wicked are of our people, of the heathens, and who the righteous are, man. By what? By showing you their works. You know, at the end of it all, like that scripture that we were paraphrasing, there is nothing hid that shall not come to the light, man. And these people are lauded and you know, worshipped and all this shit because people think like, look, they made it out the hood and you know, they became successful and they helped their mom and whatever. And people think like, oh, they're doing good works, but in reality, that they're doing
wickedness.
Nothing but wickedness, man.
Yeah, all their works are evil, their works are not just. They bring it out real quick.
Ephesians 2 verse 8, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yeah, so we didn't gift out. You can't gift yourself faith. You can't give yourself faith.
That's right.
The Lord has to gift that to you, right? To in order for you, and it's really through grace, right? You know, the Lord's grace, you know, because judgment is coming, all right, and it is happening. Judgment is happening constantly, but the ultimate judgment is coming, right? So in order to get through that, you're gonna have to believe in something that you cannot see, touch, smell, you know what I'm saying, taste. You gotta believe in a higher power than yourself. Right? All of that witchcraft and wizardry, all of that shit goes back to pride and idolatry, most important. Right? Because you got to be a prideful person to believe that it's of your hands. Like we always mention that nigga Snoop talking about something. Hey, I want to thank myself. I want to thank me and only me. I want to thank me for doing this. And in reality, that's pride, nigga, because Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gave you the gifts that you have. Right? But it's these niggas are tapped in on the left-hand side doing what Esau do, so they believe that it's because of their own hand. They sacrifice somebody they love. They sacrifice themselves. You know, you don't. That's why they always keep to say, you don't know what I had to do to get here, nigga. We know now. Nigga, we know now. We know now that you had to. We know. Yeah, we know that you got to bend over. We know that you got to be drugged up. They got some shit called Tusi. It's supposed to be pink cocaine, but it's mixed. It's mixed with some shit. Shit be fucking people up. Matter of fact, down there in Colombia, they having an epidemic of seizures and shit. Because motherfuckers taking this shit, ketamine and cocaine mixed together. Dang. And these niggas is bugging out. And that's what them niggas was using at them Diddy parties, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got, and it ain't just at his parties, bro. I don't know. I thought some time ago they got a movie called 120 Days of Sodom. Bro, this movie is fucking nuts.
I heard you mention that before.
Yeah, that shit. You gotta watch it. It's on YouTube. It ain't on YouTube. You gotta type it in, and then you gotta go to a different site to watch this shit. Cause it's outlawed, and they killed the director who made the movie. But it shows you how these super elite do. They'll kidnap you and they'll kill your parents, bro, just to kidnap you so they could use you. There's a scene in the movie where they had kids rounded up in front of the mansion, and a lady told them, "No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to get you." He said, "If you had parents, they're probably dead by now." You know what I'm saying? Some of your parents gave us to you. You know what I'm saying? And these kids, they just sitting there looking, and then they just go into the freak show. They had a party. They had a room, at a table, dinner. They eating shit off of fucking plates. It's just men coming in and giving into all wicked sexual inhibition. It's bad, bro.
I vaguely remember when you mentioned that the last time. I went home and I looked it up on YouTube, and I vaguely remember seeing a scene. I don't remember exactly what the scene was, eating shit or whatever, but I didn't finish watching the whole thing.
It ain't on YouTube.
Cause
it ain't gonna show
I watched it on something, but then I was like, I don't want to see this.
Yeah, so it's like, and that's crazy because like in this world, we shun that shit.
Was it Hulu?
It ain't on Hulu. Hell no. Hell no, that shit ain't on no fucking. It ain't on none of them platforms.
Oh, okay.
It ain't on none of them platforms because the movie is extra.
Yeah.
So it's just like that movie. It's like that movie. Goodbye,
State.
Uncle Tom.
Oh.
They ain't gonna show you that shit. Well, that's on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
but
on
they
YouTube.
cut it out. They had it for a long time. It was banned because it gave a really horrific view of what slavery was, and even then, that was a more comical view than anything what really happened. But the point of the matter is, you have these things. Damn, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you were saying how, you know, in the movie they show you all the depravity and all that stuff that they commit.
So that's what they do, right? They had these different men, these wealthy men, and that's what they were. They weren't in that movie. It wasn't actors and actresses that was doing that. They were showing elite, wealthy men and women how they do this shit, and they don't have the way you look at human life. They don't look at it that way. They look at human life as is expendable and it's set up for them sacrificing, blood sacrifice. That's what it goes down to. Like I was saying earlier, although I watched Elder Wakaria Plum and the other elders in the UK, I didn't set myself up to say, let me see what they saying. It's because we have all of one voice. Mm-hmm. We have all one speech, one word. It's all this that we're speaking are the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
Right? And all our lives, we grew up in this world thinking that hard work, sacrifice, your time and your labor and your body, that was what's going to get you and saving, that was going to get you to the next level in this world. Not realizing that in order to get to the next level in this world, you got to be an occultic Satanist. You got to be tapped in on the left-hand side at a high level. Because see, the same shit these elite doing is the same shit that these lesser luminaries, what they call lesser luminaries, like John Travolta, this nigga Puff Daddy, Jay-Z. These are all lesser luminaries. They're not illuminated to the fullest. They know some things, but they don't know everything. We're illuminated on the right-hand side. We know all things through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, right? So we see it. It costs sacrifice on either side. But instead of us making ourselves a dead sacrifice, we're making ourselves a living sacrifice to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And according, like the elder said in today's lesson, our rituals don't involve blood sacrifice, and it don't involve blood sacrifice of a human being. Right? It don't involve you having to bend over and take right up the ass and to sodomize yourself and no. Everything that the Lord told us to do is right there in front of us. It's right there in the paper, right there in the book. Yeah. Right? It show you. These are the instructions. Right? There was a time where our nation we did blood sacrificing of animals, right? Of particular animals. It couldn't be any old nasty ass animal. Unlike in Esau, these niggas they sacrifice humans. They sacrifice abominations. They sacrifice themselves. All of the shit, they revel in that shit. And all that nigga Diddy was doing was occultic knowledge that he gained from Esau in his industry. And the nigga just took off, and then when he was no longer any more used to the elite, they tossed that nigga to the wind. All his friends left him. Ain't nobody coming to this nigga's aid. Who's walking into that court? I saw a video of this nigga 50th birthday party. Oh yeah, it's my 50th birthday party! And everybody was there. Everybody who was somebody in black culture was at this man's party.
Now that nigga's
in the fucking Hooskow. You don't see not one of them niggas there. Niggas was partying, and that's why the scripture says a friend is not known in prosperity. A friend is not known in prosperity, bro. Yeah. When you partying, everybody there, nigga. But when you going through adversity, the niggas is nowhere to be found. But guess what? That's where a true friend is at. Mm-hmm. When you going through adversity. And he or she is still there by your side. Right? They might even telling you, hey, where you went off at. You know what I'm saying? But they still supporting you, still holding you down. That's a true friend. A friend can never be known in prosperity. But in this world, that's what they think. Yeah. You niggas thought that Jay-Z was really your uncle, like that nigga Dame Dash. His son, one of his sons, his oldest son. Supposedly Jay-Z was his godfather. But why would you do your godson's father like the way you doing him? You fucking throwing this nigga into the wolves. Now I ain't saying that nigga don't deserve it, but this nigga sacrificed his friendships and his family for his own personal gain. So that showed you that them niggas ain't really friends the way they said he is. Niggas can say, oh, that's my brother. Hey, always remember what Pastor Hart said, bro, even amongst us, bro. They said, listen, bro, a brother gotta have like 20 years in with you, bro, to even really get to call yourself super close with him. Even then, minimum. Hey, the apostles been down feet with each other for over 30 years. Pastor Hart been doing this for over 40 years. And I see how they move, bro. They don't be like, yo, this my buddy. They close. They have a kinship, but it's still with some, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, boundaries.
Boundaries, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Boundaries.
It's still with boundaries.
Yeah.
It's within boundaries. Even the way they move, like they don't just rush the plate. They don't rush the spot. Like no, when you come up in there, when you come amongst them, bro. First of all, Pastor Tahari, he's the eldest of all of us. Shout him out first, man. Hey, Pastor Rama could be sitting right here. Pastor Gabar could be sitting right here, and you walk up and you go straight to him, he'll move to the side like, no, bro, go like this, and he'll come back.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's the
He'll
order.
come back. Why? Yeah. Why is that? Because they move in humility. They move with humility. They move with order. And even on the left-hand side, there's an order.
Right.
So you can't operate in this world without any kind of order.
That's the spirit.
And then Jake out here moving without order, because they ain't instructing you. What they're giving you is instruction to destruction. That's what they're giving you in this world, right? So when you go out to the left-hand side to obtain these worldly gifts and things, not even knowing that it's the Lord that's giving them to you anyway.
Yeah.
You do this shit. You as an Israelite, you're out of order.
That's right.
Got it, bro.
No, and I was gonna say, you were speaking on how, the Lord gave us instructions on how to, bring sacrifices unto Him, back then and now, which don't include doing wickedness, man. But on the left-hand side, Esau dealing with evil spirits, and the left-hand side, man, he'll make you do everything that sets you apart from the Heavenly Father, man.
Yeah.
Like all those things, sexual immorality, eating abominations, and all that shit. All that stuff defiles you, man.
Yeah, the
and
murderers.
That's why they want you to do that stuff. Because once you defile yourself, they're like, this is a person that we can manipulate, man. Because then you don't have no integrity. What do you have left as a man when Esau take you to one of them fucking parties and tell you like, all right, we're gonna give you all of this. You accept this contract? Oh yeah, I'm with it. Boom. And you got a bunch of men fucking you and animals, and you don't have nothing left, man. There's nothing you can fucking give me, at least, and I know brothers as well.
Fuck that.
That is gonna make me fucking accept that type of humiliation and all that shit. Fuck no, man.
Yeah,
I'd rather die poor.
Yeah, for real.
Fuck that.
I was born poor. If I gotta die poor, let me die poor in this world. But guess what? I'm rich in faith, man.
That's right.
That's what I'm rich in. That we abundant in that.
And even Job's wife, when Job was getting punished, was like, oh, thou still withhold that integrity, curse the Most High and die, man.
Yeah,
You see,
she had no integrity. He was like, what do you tell her ass? He said, bitch, you sound like one of the crazy ones, man.
For
you sound like
real,
one of the foolish ones, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the same thing happened a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is the angels came. His wife was there. She saw it. They tried to rape the daughter. They tried to destroy him. She saw it. She wasn't out there just shopping around, balling. But what she was attracted to the things that the land of Sodom had. They were extremely wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Were noble, pretty much. So she didn't want to lose that. So what this bitch do? She looked back. She didn't listen to the instructions of the angels, which was the instruction of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shalom Shah. She was overcome with carnality, man. And what ended up happening to that bitch? She got turned into a pillar of salt and still standing there to this day. Right?
Day.
Why? Because
Yeah.
it's not given for women to have integrity. Now you got some women that are believers, absolutely. I know a few of them. Not saying they with me, but I know that there's sisters out there that believe. Right? I know that for a fact. And they ain't making themselves known. They ain't jumping off the plate to try to get with brothers. They just believing on Yahweh Shema Shah, and they patiently waiting for their men that have integrity, and that's the men of the Lord. See, down here, you got to sacrifice everything, but get that precept where it says Job didn't sin with his lips. Of all this, Job didn't sin with his lips because he had high integrity, man, and Job was a symbol of the remnant of Israel. All right? He was a symbol of that. You know, when we read Job's story, man, we're reading the story of Israel too. The Israel of the Most High. The Lord was pleased with Job from the beginning. Satan was like, nah, Satan thought that it was all about carnality with Job. Oh man, because you giving him all of this, but I guarantee you, as soon as you take it away, he gonna blaspheme you. Roughly paraphrasing what he said. And the Lord was like, what? He's like, he ain't take my servant Job for consideration, man. The Lord already knew what type of man Job was, bro. Even when he was complaining, the Lord told him, hey man, suck it up and be a man. You got to be a man. And what Job do? Yes, Lord. Con Lord.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Job 1 verse 22. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly.
And that's what Jake do down in this world. You look at, I was watching a video earlier, this bitch, she was talking about where was God doing slavery, da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? She don't understand that the Most High was there the whole time.
That's right.
Right? That was judgment. That was, the Lord wrote that down for us thousands of years before it ever happened. We done committed sin upon iniquity in the sight of the Lord all up until then, and even then. But guess what? The Lord don't look at things the way men look at things. He give you an opportunity. My grandma used to tell me this all the time, and my father. Hey, you give a nigga enough rope, he'll hang himself, man. And the Lord will give you enough rope to hang yourself, bro. The hanging is a judgment that you get, right? The rope is the grace. And that's where we're in right now. We're in a period of grace to get your shit together before the Lord comes back and judge you, right? It's all about repentance for Israel, right? You hear this hard talk. You can't talk to a nigga softly. I don't give a fuck if you're a Spanish-speaking nigga. I don't give a goddamn if you're a French-speaking nigga. You can't talk to Jake like, yo, bro. Yeah. No, some brothers you can, but that's the elect brothers, bro. Those are brothers that fear the Lord. Because the nigga will get offended. Oh, nigga, you can't talk to me like that. You don't know it's the Lord talking through brothers to speak to you and get you correct. And that's what's going on right now, right? You had a Jake went up on us last week and interrupt his own game to interrupt the speech of the Lord.
The tennis demon.
Yeah, the brother called that nigga the tennis demon. He was an Israelite, but he didn't know he was Israelite, and neither did he care. Right? He didn't see the benefit in this. He saw the benefit of playing tennis. Right?
Yeah.
So
being like this world.
Yeah, being like this world. Because that's all you do. You're emulating Esau. Right? You think tennis is looked at as an affluent game, like lacrosse, cricket, that kind of shit. Right? You know what I'm saying? So this nigga thought he was he even tried to look like Pete Sampras, bro. With the blonde hair, the long hair and shit. He really tried to look like this dude, man. Try to take on this man's spirit and not knowing that you kicking against the pricks. You kicking against your own self, man. You hurt your own self when you do this shit. And Jake don't understand that. Bring it up, bro. That was it?
That was it. You want it again?
No. Go ahead. Because it's a slack. It is about integrity. Hey, I pray all the time that the Lord keep my integrity intact until the very end. Why is that? Because if you got integrity, especially high integrity, and how about Gmshawaii, you're not going to cripple. You're not going to bend a knee into this world. And the Lord said, I got 7,000 men that have not bowed the knee to Baal. And that's what these niggas are. These niggas are nothing more than Baal worshipers, man. But he has a complete number, a remnant. He says, even now, there's a remnant, right? And that's that remnant of Israel.
That's right.
Great,
This the definition of integrity. It says the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. Some of the synonyms, it says honesty, uprightness, probity, which it says the quality of having strong moral principles, honesty, and decency.
Yeah.
Which all these characteristics the 2/3 of our people don't have, man.
We lack.
Yep, and this is why they sell out and they do all these, acts of wickedness to gain what? The bag, fame, all of that stuff, which at the end of the day is for naught, man.
It's fleeting. And niggas will keep selling out for this shit. No matter how many people they see crash out, they still keep selling out for it like it's going to change when they get there. You know what I mean? Right. They making a big deal. If this nigga Puffy really is in that detention center in New York City, they're like, oh, this is his new home for the foreseeable future. How this nigga, and I saw the arrest. Stop it. I saw this nigga arrest on camera, man. I was like, man, when they come get you, bro.
It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't even that bad. It was like, but it could tell that it was coordinated effort. These niggas, they was following this nigga when he left the hotel and went and did whatever the fuck he was doing to when he came back. Because soon as these niggas walked through the door, you could see I was looking in the back, and you could see the fan agents. These niggas had plain clothes on and shit. These niggas, you could tell a nigga, they look awkward, but they had plain clothes on.
Yeah.
These niggas, you could see in the camera. First of all, as soon as this nigga walked through the door, he didn't even get an opportunity. He tried to make a right, a left. Cops came out of nowhere. Not coppers, federal agents came out of nowhere, plain clothes. All they did was, "Hey, come with us, sir." And he couldn't do nothing. He was like, his bodyguards, his sons and them, they was with him and shit. And they were looking like the nigga trying to act tough, the big nigga. He was like, he just fell to the rear, nigga. And then as soon as they took him, he started coming out like, yeah, like nigga, like y'all done. I was like, they took this nigga, when they took this nigga and put this hand, when they do this, bro, hey, don't say nothing. And that's it, like you said, brother. And that's it. All you gotta do is shut the fuck up and go with them. Because if you buck up, it's a wrap.
If you buck up, they gonna buck up.
So they had the niggas in the back, just in case this nigga try to book out the door, buck up. You can see these niggas come out of nowhere, do this. They come out of nowhere.
Oh, they tactical.
Yeah, I said took out the badge, walked by them niggas. Cause remember, when Puffy was on top, nobody could get around this nigga. They had you thinking that these security guards and these bodyguards are true bodyguards. No, they're not, bro. Them niggas melted like butter. As soon as they see these niggas do this,
yeah, take out that.
Hey, them niggas just backed up. You know, his son was behind him and shit. He just backed up, cause nigga, hey, this the federal government.
And
that's right.
A lot of his bodyguards were former policemen and former whatever. So they know the routine. If they don't know the routine, they've heard of the routine. So they know when the feds come get you. I know when I was growing up in the projects, the feds don't look like the police.
No, they don't. They don't look like the police.
They dress regular. Yeah. They might have jeans on, a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
But when they pull out that badge, it's a different looking badge. Yeah. It's more shiny for whatever reason.
And the shit is in more order.
It's in more order.
This ain't the state. This ain't a state case. So like
you're not gonna get away.
No. Let's go skate. Man, they took this nigga to the back. All they did was do this. They wanted this. Yeah. And then they just ushered this nigga to the back. He was walking, and before they got to the next camera scene, he had the cuffs on. Yeah. I was like, they put that shit on fat. And they took this nigga on the elevator out the back of the hotel. They took this nigga, put this nigga on the hotel, put this nigga on the elevator. He came out the elevator, had the trench coat on and shit like this. And he walked doing that perk walk, man. Yeah. And like, you see, this is what happens when you try to act like the white man. And this shit gonna happen to every last one of you so-called lesser luminaries. If you don't get put to death, you're going to jail. If you ain't going to jail, they're gonna defame you and you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be back in the ghetto. See, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that side of the story. You niggas gonna be right back in the fucking ghetto, right?
Yeah, because there's Jakes out there right now. Even though they see this going on with Diddy, seeing him being arrested and how much money he's worth now. If the system is still here, which we hope and pray is not, by the time he gets sentenced and serve his sentence to the fullest or whatever, it's gonna be more niggas get locked up like him.
Well, it show you that. It show you with R. Kelly.
Well, R. Kelly.
R. Kelly wasn't assigned for you niggas to slow down and get the fuck out, and it's too late. He can't. They said they had already been following this nigga for decades, bro.
Yeah.
They said like since 2009. It's 2024. This man will sit. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, they watching us. You think when we come out here, we doing this work? They got packets on every last. Like that nigga Lonzo said. I got packets on every last one of you. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. Because guess what? Hey, the rulers are not a threat. A terror to good works, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we doing good works.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we ain't out here having no fucking buff parties. We ain't out here.
We preaching the good news.
Yeah, we preaching the gospel, bro.
Gospel. Bro.
You know what I'm saying? You see, because like there's an end to this state that we're in as a nation. There's an end. See, Jake don't see the end. That's why he sell out. That's why you got niggas lined up to sell a soul to get a little piece of what Esau got to offer.
A little fame and
then really, and in the end, it's really nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah, you got all these newer rappers that haven't been, famous for too long. They getting put to death, and in their mind, they believe like, oh yeah, look at what happened to R. Kelly or to Diddy or whatever. But we better than these dudes,
we know better.
We gonna get around it, or that shit ain't gonna happen to us. All of that is coming for all of you, man. And then because they're doing, or they're coming into fame quicker than what these dudes came up, they think it's just like, nah, we just so much more talented, or like they prefer us.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, Esau's playing all of you.
And that's what that nigga Method Man says. Like, he said, yo, man, where are these niggas getting all this money at, man? Because when I came in, there wasn't no money. It's like, you be happy to get $400, bro. Like, this nigga, he was like, where they getting all this money from? Because not only if they just selling out, man, is that Esau making the price, making the you know, the enticement that much more enticing for these niggas. You know what I'm saying? These niggas selling their soul via their intellectual property. They selling their soul via their bodies. The Satanism they're pushing. Because all these niggas is doing is a pushing. It was a time where rock and roll was like what rap is today. Rock and roll turned from, it wasn't even wholesome. I ain't gonna say it was wholesome, but when Jake started rock and roll, it wasn't about that head banging. It wasn't that shit. It was Jake was playing the guitar and shit, talking about his or her life. And then eventually, when Esau got up in there, it turned darker and darker and darker, to the point where they pushed niggas out. Jake wasn't no more the face of rock and roll. Little Richard used to be rock and roll. Little Richard was a wild homosexual. He did all of that wickedness to stay in that industry. Wow. But then when they took niggas out of the face and made the white man the face of rock and roll, it became that much more darker, satanic, right? That vibration, because at the time, rock and roll, it fueled America, youth. Yep. Now, hip hop is the same way. Hip hop started off as just an expression of the oppression that Jake was getting in the ghetto. Niggas wasn't even thinking about money. They were just trying to be on. You know, everybody rap going and the back and the tap, that kind of shit. Then it started getting darker. In the 90s, killing niggas, shooting nigga, dead, bow. Niggas was getting enticed to do that. Drugs came into the apart. Because drugs was always an issue in the black community. When you talk about like in the 60s and the 70s, like the late 60s, early 70s, when they came back from Vietnam. They brought back heroin, they brought back drug addicts, and then they fueled the drug market. Yeah. And then that destroyed Jake.
I was watching that movie. It's on Showtime, American Gangster. And they have scenes about, you know, Vietnam and soldiers coming back, hooked on heroin and all that stuff. Right in New York. That's where it pretty much all started from.
Yeah, so you had because what they wanted to kill that spirit of revolution. And they did. Even though that spirit that they had in the 60s and 50s was set up, they wanted to kill the revolutionary spirit in Jake. So what they do, they drug you niggas up, and they made you more violent. And they turned your cities and your towns into fucking prisons, man. Wild prisons. And what they do, they took out the ones that they thought were charismatic and could lead the people, and they turned them. They turned them too. Malcolm X was turned. Martin Luther King was always turned. You know what I'm saying? All these dudes, all these people that you thought were so-called intellectuals. What's that nigga? Huey P. Newton? Huey P. Newton. And the nigga Bobby Seals, all them niggas was tapped in. All them, you thought them niggas was about freedom of the black people and all this other shit. What they do, they led you into more destruction, because what came after the Black Panther Party, it was mass arrest, gun confiscation. They made the gun laws so strict amongst niggas, so-called blacks, that it's basically illegal for you to even have a weapon. Even if you got a legal license to carry, it was illegal. In California, you didn't have to have a license to open carry. You can have weapons in the public. So what they do, they took after the Black Panther Party was over, they made that illegal. You cannot open carry in California. Not like that, right? And they were open and carrying on government property. Now it's illegal for you to have a weapon on government property, any government property, unless you are licensed to carry via their system. You know what I'm saying? When I say licensed to carry, you got to be an officer, a peace officer, some shit like that. But back then, it was open carry. So what they do, they use that to demonize and criminalize gun ownership amongst Jake, right? So, and you see what you get. And then what came after that? The gangs. The gangs came. The drugs came, like the brother said. Yep. And then the gangs came. And then what? They turned your fucking... It's a movie. You ever watch... your brothers ever seen Back to the Future 2? There's a movie called Back to the Future 2, right? With a nigga Biff, he goes back in time, wins all his money, and he turns Happy Valley into a fucking ghetto. It was bad. It was terrible. People were getting killed. It was like fucking marauders, all this crazy shit. And it shows you what happens when Esau introduces vice to the place. Yeah. Happy Valley used to be a place where it was an Edomite sanctuary, you know what I'm saying? But then when the vices came, everything else, the immorality, the sexual immorality, depravity happened. Yeah. And you had violence, drugs, that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, this man's a devil. Go ahead, Tom.
You were reading something already?
Wisdom of Solomon.
Not yet.
Oh, okay, kind. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
And that's it. But they that be wealthy, the man be rich in this world. Hey, you got your umbrella?
Nope, I forgot it.
I think I might have.
Read it again, bro.
1 Timothy 6 and verse 9. But they that
stand over the camera. The water, brother. Yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
1 Timothy 6 and 9, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare.
So, and that's what happens in this world. Because I think I was speaking to Elder Milwaukee, like, you know how a nigga get money, and let's say a nigga get money and he get locked up, he automatically believes that his money is going to deliver him. But when you poor, you be praying to the Lord like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You be looking towards the Lord. You know what I'm saying? When you get this money, you forget that the Lord is your deliverer. The Lord is your savior. Yahweh. So now this money, it makes you what? Prideful. You think you can buy your way out of anything because you see Esau do it. And that's not the case. Read it again.
1 Timothy 6 and 9, but they that will be rich,
will be rich, go ahead,
fall into temptation and a snare.
Fall into temptation and a snare, sin, and they get caught up. When we're talking about this nigga Diddy, this nigga got caught up in temptation, and he got caught in that snare that everybody get caught in eventually.
Hey, one of the I remember, it brings to mind one of the lyrics in one of Biggie's small songs was he said something like, all the money I stacked was all the money for bail.
Yeah.
And you know Puffy had that mindset because he offered $50 million and to put 2 of his homes up, and one of his homes was worth $48 million.
And he had just paid it off.
And the judge said no.
Yeah, he said no. So your money couldn't deliver you.
Your money can't deliver
you thought you was an Edomite, nigga. You ain't no Edomite. You a nigga.
You a nigga.
Right, and then, richest prophet not in the day of wrath.
Yep. And then I was watching another video. This guy was he was debating a so-called black woman. He was saying how blacks commit more crime than any other nation in America. They're 14% of the population, but yet they're the ones that lead in crime and da-da-da-da-da. And this other guy, he was basically doing a reply to the video. And he was saying basically, he said, first of all, so-called black people in America, they're overly policed and they're overly convicted in courts because of institutionalized racism on every level, from the bail system to the to when you going to get prosecuted, all of that shit. They're overly prosecuted.
The curses.
So that's the reason why it seems like blacks lead in crimes. He said that 50% of the crimes in America go unsolved. He said you could basically say that 50% of the crimes in America go unsolved because they're committed by white people. Because white people are under convicted. You'll get an Edomite, he'll run through the hood and kill and murder people and have you thinking it was a drive-by.
Yep.
And you would never know it.
They was doing that in Chicago. They did a story on they had these masks, these lifelike masks that you can put on your face. Yeah. And they were saying, I forgot the reporter's name, but he was saying in Chicago, a lot of these masks are worn by so-called white people that go in the ghettos and shoot a Jake, and the people give a certain description, and the dude just leave and take the mask off, and then he's gone.
And that's how they started. That's how they started infighting among Jake.
Yeah. That's what it was about.
They'll start infighting among Jake and keep you disoriented.
Yep.
So again, this money, it leads you to what? Foolish people.
It says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
What is it?
The NLT, it says, but people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires, that plunged them into ruin and destruction.
And look, we see what's happening with this nigga Diddy, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, all these. We just naming a few entertainers, but you can look at them football playing niggas, them athletes. They go through the same shit. You know what I'm saying? They get access to all of these shit that they never had. Women, all kinds of shit, right? And they end up getting taken down. This nigga Tekashi 69, he's being sued. He's being sued by a bitch he was fucking with for all kinds of shit, right? He thought because the bitch looked good that she was going, she was better. And in reality, this bitch was a demon. And you didn't know how to deal with this woman.
Watch them pretty demons.
You know what I'm saying? It opened up doors to things that end up destroying men. It ended up destroying people. Right?
Yeah.
So see, Esau, he been working with the Satan on the left-hand side since he got here. So his relationship with Satan is way different than yours.
It's deeper.
It's right, it's deeper.
Way deeper.
He's Satan's son.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So this nigga, you think you can do what he can do and get away with it like that? Nah, bro. You don't got it. It ain't about the money. It's not about the money.
And Esau has the Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So Esau has no limitations with his wickedness.
No, he don't.
He can be as wicked. The Lord let this nigga be as wicked as he want to be with no consequences until the end when it comes.
But he don't allow that with Jake.
That's right.
The Lord allow you to get so wicked and he come bam.
Cut your ass.
Bitch, cut your ass the fuck off, man. Like the
That's
brother
heavy.
said, the nigga no. Hey, Esau is a true no limit soldier, bro.
A true no limit
He's
soldier.
a true no limit. He has no limits until what? He gets cut off.
Yep.
And when he get cut off, it's gonna be hardcore.
Yep.
You ever see a nigga get cut off cold turkey on some drugs?
Yep.
This nigga been hopped up on cocaine and heroin
Yep.
forever. And then they lock this nigga up and he ain't got his drugs. He might die, bro.
Hey, I was thinking this and I was laughing. The next time we see a picture of Diddy in jail, that nigga gonna have gray hair.
Oh yeah, no more Beijing.
He dying and shit. He dying and shit now.
Yeah, all that. The nigga look like an alien. Y'all seen this mugshot? He like an alien, bro.
Yeah.
He look crazy. He look like a demon.
You gotta
He
be
look
crazy.
He look like the nigga. He look like that nigga who they call Yaquab, the big head scientist.
Yeah.
Not Yaquab, Yakub, the big head scientist. He look like that, bro. This nigga's a demon. Look
Hell
at this nigga.
yeah, he's a
That's why
demon.
he always had them sunglasses on, bro, to hide them demons that was on him.
Yeah.
Look, show the camera, man. That nigga look crazy, bro.
That nigga is
That
crazy.
nigga look fucking bugged out, bro.
Yep.
He looked like a nigga that's void of all integrity.
Hey,
bro.
you can't be under
With no
any
light.
type of normalcy doing all them drugs and fooling with all them demons and all that. You gotta look crazy.
Yeah, you got to be a crazy nigga. That's why. Hey, look at the nigga Jay-Z. He's the same way. That nigga look crazy. He look bugged the fuck out. All that shit on his head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got that look, that blank stare, that 1,000-yard stare.
Damn.
That's a nigga that see his own judgment eventually.
Yeah,
You know?
In the NLT it says, but people who long to be rich fall into the temptation, and that's that desire, that covetousness that we were reading in the book of Proverbs, man.
Yeah.
That's right. The Lord told us not to envy or covet after the wicked, man, or follow his ways to do evil, man.
And what does it mean to covet? You want something that somebody else got.
That ain't yours.
No, the Lord teaches us about contentment. It said, but godliness with contentment is true wealth.
That's right.
You gotta having godliness. This is godliness. Following after Yahweh Shem Shai, fearing Yahweh Shem Shai, that's godliness. Exercising these laws and commandments one towards another, that's godliness. And then you gotta be content with what you have.
You gotta be content.
You know what I'm saying? In this world, they teach you to want more than you already have. Like it's not enough. And like the scripture says, it said, for we brought nothing in this world, and it's for certain we
That's
can
right.
take nothing out of it.
That's right.
Them Egyptians in the ancient world, they tried that shit. Those megalomaniacs. These niggas would get buried with all their wealth, even their servants. Niggas ain't even sick. He gotta die because you
Fuck
did.
that.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. And, why? Because he thought that he could take his privilege that he had in this world into the next, and it ain't so.
They tried that shit with Elvis. Buried him with some gold, some necklaces, some rings, and all that shit. Them niggas robbed his grave so quick.
Yeah, fast as shit.
Fast as shit.
And that's the same thing happened with those. Even said in the scripture says for the grave robbers come. And that's what happened with them fucking Egyptians, man. They're still robbing them graves even to this day. Yeah. And to this day they got all of those so-called priceless antiques. Right? The shit that they had, those priceless antiques.
Esau's and Indiana Jones went up in there and
Yeah.
took all that shit.
It's they really got people like that, bro.
Yeah, they do.
And even the fucking, how do you call them dudes that dig up the that dig up the ground for
Archaeologists, I think it's called. Yeah, yeah,
These
yeah.
motherfuckers are
Yeah.
pretty much grave robbers.
Indiana Joneses. Yeah. Indiana Jones was
right.
what? He was an anthropologist, an archaeologist.
Yeah, anthropologists.
He
Yeah.
was an anthropologist
Yeah.
and archaeologist. That's what they call that nigga. That's just nothing but a fancy word for a thief.
Yeah.
That's all it is, man. This nigga, he's still for the rich, man. The super elite give him a check. And he go out there, he find what was missing.
That's right.
He start running
Yep.
heavy.
That's why I like what you said. This place where we're at, Babylon, is an open air classroom. We learn to be content. We learn to be patient, especially if you're like us. You got bills to pay. You have to learn to be content, content, because sometimes you can't pay that bill.
Yeah,
So you got to put it off to the next paycheck.
You gotta be happy with what you have.
Happy with what you have.
You gotta be
Yeah.
accepting of what you have, not even happy. Because contentment is not happiness. We
It's
don't know
not.
what real happiness here, but we're thankful. Being content,
That's
is
right.
being thankful.
Yeah.
And a lot of jakes, they're not thankful for what they have. Like a lot of you grew up in these ghettos,
Mhm.
and at least you got a house, man.
That's right.
At least you got a roof
Got
over
a
your
roof
head.
over your head.
There's people in this world that don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I got these old clothes on. Well, nigga, at least you got clothes on. And the scripture says that these are the things that are useful for a man's life.
That's right.
You know, having Grammy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, like, at least you got clothes.
At
There
least
are
you
people
got
in this
something.
world that don't have that. They walking around barefooted. They walking around with not even a t-shirt on.
We see that over here a
You know what I'm
lot.
saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you in this world entices you to want more than what you already have. Not understanding that what you have is what you need. Right? It's better to have what you need than what you want.
Hell yeah.
Because what you need is sufficient for your life. What you want may not be. Go ahead,
Right.
Tom.
That definition of content, it says a state of peaceful happiness. Synonyms, it says contented, satisfied, pleased, gratified, fulfilled, glad, tranquil, unworried, untroubled, at ease, at peace.
Yeah.
And ultimately we are at peace, at a peaceful happiness, because like we always say, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua could have destroyed us, man. But we're content. We're at a peaceful happiness because, hey, we're not out there destitute of anything.
Yeah.
And we were going into it in the car.
Yep,
We
I was
ain't
just
in the
thinking of
state
that.
these
Yep.
rich celebrities are, getting persecuted for all that wicked shit that they did for having or to gain those riches, man.
Oh,
So we in a peaceful state, in a peaceful state of happiness, man. Because again, we understand why our people are not on top. We understand why we in captivity, and we know that ultimately, Lord willing, we be part of the elect. We're gonna see this kingdom go down. This wicked kingdom that oppresses our spirits, it's gonna go down, and the Lord's gonna come deliver us to set us up, man.
Yeah, so we gotta expect the end. See Jake out here hopeless, man.
That's right.
See a nigga that do with it says get the scripture says for what shall a man gain if he gain the whole world and loses his own soul? A person that loses soul in this world is a person that's hopeless, right? And you see Jake, you see how Jake moving in a hopeless state. That's why they kill each other, steal, lie, cheat. They trying to get over on one another. They exalt the wealthy and they oppress the poor.
That's right.
Niggas look down on the poor. What the scriptures speak about the rich abhor the poor, right? To them, it's like it's a disease, and that's what they teach Jake. And Jake forget that, nigga, you was just poor a couple years ago. Now all of a sudden you got some money. Oh man, fuck these broke. We got a bitch. I was mentioning this song. This bitch got out. I keep hearing it on TikTok called Brokey. Some bitch named Lotto. She got a song called Brokey and shit. And basically she got bitches at work, acting like they her in a video. And these bitches talking about, yeah, I got this. They being prideful. And these bitches getting fired, bro, because they making these. They had a big bitch at the Waffle House. She made a video, a TikTok video about the song Brokey, and then the bitch lost her job. Now she's broke. She was in a car crying and shit like, oh, I had this job, a job that you gave your life for 9 years, working at the Waffle House and shit. Working at the Waffle House for 9 years, bro. And because you made a TikTok video, it might seem harmless to you, but the company don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Y'all on a job, playing and shit. Y'all supposed to be cooking, serving people food, and you out here orchestrating a video called Brokey. Now, bitch, you're broke.
laugh at that.
You forget, you niggas think that you're gonna be wealthy forever. forever. You get on a private jet, you got the little fashion dog, you got the clothes, you got the fake tits and ass, and you just assume I'm gonna live like this forever. I'm gonna die like this. And being broke is a thing of the past. No, it ain't, nigga. No, it ain't, nigga. That shit is right around the corner. Right? And it's more to being broke than financially strapped, nigga. You're emotionally broke. You're spiritually broke. Right? That's the worst part.
That's the worst part.
Because you look at these niggas and you uphold these people and you don't know how depraved these motherfuckers are, bro. And you niggas don't care. That's why you making jokes about baby oil and all this other bullshit. You had that precept.
You got it on Mark.
Oh, Mark 8:36. Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
You got
Look at Diddy.
yeah, look at him, look at all the
Kelly.
man, that nigga Diddy just going out the same way every so-called black celebrity go out, bro.
Yeah.
Either you gonna go out, either you gonna get defamed going out, or you gonna get put to death.
It's a roll call.
Either way, you gonna get defamed, man.
Yeah.
Like that nigga, you start asking for shit above your pay grade, nigga. Michael Jackson said the reason why he was being targeted was because he owned half of Sony's music catalog, which Esau wanted that back. So what did they do? He said, overnight I became a molester. Overnight I was a homosexual.
That's right.
All of this shit he said overnight. But he didn't tell you all the wicked shit that he had to go through and the shit that he did to maintain his stardom. Right? He didn't tell you that portion. It wasn't just because of that, nigga. You go above your station, nigga. The white man said your usefulness was over, man.
Over.
You wasn't selling records like you was. The last time you sold a record, nigga, that shit sold under 10 million. I think it was like 2 million. Nigga, you went from selling 65 million records, bro, off of one album, nigga, and it wasn't his first album either. It was like his seventh. You know what I'm saying? His seventh solo album is when he hit that peak. His peak was in the 80s. And so he thought he had carte blanche. He probably was doing that shit with some children because the sex magic is a part of occultic knowledge. So you probably was doing that shit, nigga, and got caught up. And once they got done with you, they start showing the tapes of your crib and shit. And you didn't get convicted in a court of law, but in the court of public opinion, man, you were done. They made you a pariah. So what you do? You was a drug addict. You ain't tell niggas that. You know what they call? He call that shit. I need milk
To go to sleep.
to go to sleep. And why did he need milk to go to sleep? Because he had demons on him.
Fucking wicked, right?
The nigga had demons on him. He couldn't rest. And you notice that they houses are every time these niggas go out, their houses are in squalor. It ain't clean in there. You can tell there's a bunch of spirits in their motherfucking houses. That nigga lived like a weirdo. Now, I don't know if that's how his room was, but it looked like it was. Like it been like that for a while, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga room was filthy, bro. Why? Because he got those demons. Them demons, they thrive in filth.
Yep.
Demons thrive in filth.
Yeah.
That's why you got to clean
Disorder.
the shit. Yeah, disorder.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, bro, he didn't tell y'all all that, but that's why it's a no-win situation with Esau.
And ultimately, it was the judgment from Yahweh Shai. Because you ain't put here to be super rich, make all this money, and live happily ever after. You know, this is not our place of rest. So whether we say it was from Esau, is the Lord's whipping stick.
He's the Lord's sword. That's right.
Ultimately, the judgment, because I got to go back to what you said. This is an open classroom for us to learn how not to be like these devils.
Yeah, because living in a wicked society is going to destroy you every time. Go ahead, bro.
That's right. This is the book of Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
So there it is. So you put your mind and heart in this place. It's ultimately going to destroy you in this world. You put all that. You know, don't listen to that shit. Or when they say I give all things to God, they're not talking about Yahweh Shai, right? They're talking about Satan. That's their God. Their money is their God. Esau is their God, right? So the Lord said, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." Like the brother said, we weren't sent down here to live lavishly in a lap of luxury. We were sent here for judgment.
That's right.
But the judgment is there, but it's also we were sent down here to learn a lesson. How not to rule in wickedness and how it's better to rule in righteousness in Yahweh Shai. Because all of this shit that you see going on today, it all stems from idolatry. Can you get that precept where it says is the root and cause for all things? What you got?
Well, I got a quick one. Proverbs 4 verse 16, for they sleep not except they have done mischief.
Start at 15.
Start at 15. Proverbs 4:15, avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it.
Start at 13. What 13 says?
13 says, take fast hold of instruction.
Yeah, that's it.
Let her not go, keep her, for she is thy life.
And that's the instruction is come from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Wisdom is a woman, right? And we supposed to take hold to her. Just like you see a fine ass chick, you doing everything to get her. You, damn, I can't wait to. And she just so every time you with her, she just get better and better and better. Well, that's what wisdom is.
That's what this knowledge is.
It's
about,
what you're supposed to take hold of. Read it again.
Proverbs 4 verse 13, take fast hold of instruction, let her not go.
Let her not go.
Let her not go.
Because this instruction will allow you to live, man.
Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time.
It strengthens you. All right? It gives you life.
Let her not go, keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked.
Yeah.
And
See,
go.
That's instruction, bro. That's instruction right there. Enter not into the path of the wicked. And you see what's happening to Jake when they enter into the path of the wicked. They don't live forever, and they don't live in they don't live forever, and it don't last long, and they always go out bad every time, bro. Because wickedness was not made for us.
It's not.
Wickedness was not made for the Israelites, bro. That shit was made for Esau and them heathens, bro.
Yeah.
That's why they flourish in it, right? Unlike us, we get destroyed in it. You eat what the wicked eat, you die.
You get caught up.
You know what I'm saying? You do what the wicked do, you die.
Yeah.
Right? You worship the wicked. You worship what the wicked worship, you die, nigga. You don't live.
Hard. Yeah, and even when they're so-called enjoying their prosperity, they don't really enjoy it, man. Because in the back of their mind is like, damn, I had to do all of this. And even amongst themselves, like, they're like, damn, I hope I didn't do nothing crazy in that party, or, you know, I hope, you know, they didn't catch me doing this or that.
And when that nigga Meek Mill said that shit, he said, if they find out what me and Diddy did in that party, man, I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
so
what he
you
said.
done. Fucking through, bro.
Nigga, I remember meeting this nigga, man. I remember when you was just a nigga in the street, bro, a nigga from the hood. But you got turned out when you went to Will Smith crib. When they sent you out to LA, Charlie Mack sent that nigga out to LA, I'm sure he got inducted right then and there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga told him to cut the braids off his head and all that shit. Why? Because now you're going to be reintroduced. Right?
Made new.
Yep.
New and wickedness.
Do it again, bro.
Proverbs 4, verse 13. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men.
Yep. Go not in the way of evil men.
Yep.
All that shit that Diddy is doing is nothing more than what that nigga Alistair Crawley brought up in here. And that nigga was a monster. Right? He was a monster, but what he do? He put that shit into Hollywood, and then y'all put that shit into the industry and all the Esau industries, and y'all follow after that man's way. That man was a occultic monster. He was a demon.
Dang.
Right? And you take on his ways, and it leads you to destruction. Read that portion again.
Proverbs 4:14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men.
Go not in the way of evil men. That nigga was an evil man. What's his nigga? I know his last name was Kinsley. This nigga, he was the one behind the so-called sexual revolution in America. And what did that do? It destroyed America. It destroyed the moral fiber of America that it claimed it had. It destroyed men, women, and children. Right? And they put, and this nigga, Alfred Kinsey is his name.
Wow.
And this nigga, they set this nigga up at the University of Indiana, I think in Bloomington, Indiana. And this nigga carried out a bunch of satanic rituals on children. Damn. Right? And then this, you know, they put that shit in pornography. They put that shit all that, like the elder was saying in the lesson today, man. He said when you see pornography, it's the same thing they're doing in the cultic, in the closet, in the dark. But they just putting it out there to normalize it.
Yeah.
You know, all that busting off of your woman's face and shit, that's come from a humiliation ritual. that's set up to humiliate the people that's going through it. But they tell you that, oh, that's cool. All that eating ass. Remember that song they had a couple years ago, Chris Brown? Nigga don't eat it like groceries. Right? Yeah, that kind of weirdo shit. Eat booty like groceries or some shit like that. Well, they got that shit from occultic knowledge, which is, they call that Satan's kiss. Right? You got to kiss the ass or the anus of a person. And now they made that shit fashionable. You got to lick a woman's asshole and that gets her off. Right? I always say everything you learned in life was taught by your enemy.
That's right.
How you were taught to love one another was taught by your enemy. How you were taught to have sex, how you were taught to utilize money, how you were taught to communicate was by your enemy. It wasn't by the Lord. The Lord he didn't teach us that way. There's a way to have sex and it be enjoyable, but it also has a useful purpose, right? All of that fucking in the asshole and shit, that shit comes from sex magic. Right? They use that, they do that shit to little children. And you start noticing too, a lot of these pedophiles getting so-called locked up and shit now, getting caught in these rings and shit. Right? And normally it's the Edomites, bro. It's niggas too. But it's normally that Edomites surpass that number in that shit because that's in their spirit to do that shit.
Yeah, usually they'll have Jake, they'll pay Jake to gather or kidnap these kids, and then Esau's the ones that are paying for him.
Yeah,
I was looking at some shit from Slovakia, from South America, man. How like there was these dudes. I think he looked like a so-called Edomite, but he be following these traffic rings and shit. And he be like encountering or like he'll follow them. I don't know what he does exactly, but he'll come up to like groups of like Hispanic people coming from South America and shit, and he'll be like, oh, these are your kids, and they're like, oh, stop filming it, and then the dude's trying to talk to the kids like, oh, I can help you, ayuda, like trying to tell the kids to say something, you know, but then the other dudes, the grown Israelites, Northern Kingdom, they be looking at them and telling them like, oh, don't say nothing, and they're selling them to who? To Esau.
Yeah, they set track for them to Esau, and you'll never see them again. And what's happening to them children? They're being sexually abused. They're being ritualistically murdered. Right? This is what's happening to these children. And hey, that's why the Lord destroyed. Can you get that precept where it says most odious of works? We'll get back to wisdom in Solomon 2. But this is the reason why the Lord destroyed them fucking Canaanites out of that land, bro. Out of our land, the Holy Land. Because that was where Adam and his wife Eve dwelt in Israel and Jerusalem, right? So the Lord, that's always been a holy land from the beginning of the earth. And when them Canaanites got up in there, what did they do? Did they follow the laws of the Lord? No. Them fucking Hamites, they did everything known to man. I think just put odious.
I think it says Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 2.
The thing with these Jakes, you know, I mentioned it in the lesson I did, man. You know, the thing with these artists and these Jakes that get up that high, man, like, yeah, if you talented and you have connections or whatever, there's a point where you could get without, you know, being in that whole occult, like deep into that occult. But if you want to go to that next level, like these dudes are, man, like you have to pretty much accept, like, yep, I'm gonna do all this.
You gotta sacrifice it all.
Yeah, like,
including yourself, including your asshole, your rectum. See, once they take your integrity, your manly integrity, that's it. Yeah. They know that you're willing to do anything, all for a buck. And this nigga just sit back and laugh at you.
Yeah.
So see, they're already filthy. But when they pollute the righteous, man, that shit gets them off, man.
That's right.
Right? And Jake, you could buy a nigga cheap. You always could buy a nigga cheap. And it was always the niggas that was noble amongst our people, bro. It ain't saying like every noble person was a shitbag, but the majority of the so-called nobles of our people, you're the first to sell out. When Antiochus Epiphanes came into power, who did he go to? Did he go to the poor first? No. He went straight to the wealthy of our people, the rich of our people, the influential of our people. You had some influential men, like I think his name was Eleazar, that said, no, I ain't gonna do that shit. They told his brother to act like he was eating pork so that the people could what? Follow him and do it. And he said, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? First they tried to get him to eat it so that what? It could influence Jake to do it because he was the high priest. And he said, I'm not doing that shit. And then they said, well, okay, you just act like you're doing it. And why are we so pressed for us to eat pork? Because you know that it's an abomination in the sight of Yahweh Shai for us to do it. You know it's against our laws. So the whole time these nations been trying to pollute the righteous, and they have, right? Even though 2/3 of Jacob is just off, in the kingdom you're gonna be righteous, bro. But see, Esau does this to keep you in a state of what? Perpetual sin. He went, what's this dude, Epiphanes the fourth, knew that if we broke the law, that the Lord wasn't going to deal with us, and he wasn't going to protect us.
That's right.
Right? When Judas Maccabees and his brothers, when they were following the Lord, bro. So the Lord was with us, man. The angels came down, chariots came down on our behalf, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, we got to stop this. We got to stop this. Let's get them to go off. And then what it says, Maccabees, it says what? And there were wicked Israelites back then. Get that real quick. There were wicked men amongst Israel that consented. You know, niggas quick to leave the Lord, bro. All because you wanted some recognition amongst the nation. Go ahead, bro.
This First Maccabees 1 and 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
And that's what they're doing today. You got the Pope talking about some there's a universal God. That's what he said.
Yeah, like to.
He said everybody should just be one.
One, yeah.
Right? Everybody should just be one. They've always been on that same kick. These niggas, they ain't doing nothing new. They call it the New World Order, but it's the same shit you tried many times over, but they don't tell you that you failed. But this nigga George Bush Sr. talking about something, and when we're successful, and we will be, we got a new chance at this New World Order thing. Right? He was prideful when he said that shit. And he died. He didn't even get to see it come to fruition. So it's like, that shows you that shit is a failure every time, man.
So they trying to redo the Tower of Babel all over again.
Yeah, nigga, you trying to do the same shit over again that got you fucked up.
And I remember watching the breakdown Elder Apostle Ramla did on Luke 4, the temptation of Yahweh. He made a good point when he said the demons that are operating today, he said we should try to keep in mind they're the same demons that were back then.
Yep.
So they ain't bringing nothing new.
Nothing new.
They bringing
under the sun.
There you go. That's
Ain't
it.
nothing new under the sun.
Ain't
Everything has been done. They just trying to flip it on you, and they keep you in such a fucking blank state that you don't know, nigga, that this shit already been done. But they don't tell you that the result every time was failure, nigga.
Yeah.
It was never successful, bro.
Never successful.
No, it wasn't successful under Nimrod. It wasn't successful under Alexander the Great. It wasn't successful under his generals. It was never successful. It wasn't successful under the Egyptians.
Successful.
The shit was always fucked up, bro.
Yep,
And it ended in what? Destruction. And that's what's going to happen on this time.
Right.
Because the Lord created nations to be separate for a reason, especially us from them. Because what these nations do, they pollute us, man. You know, you get with a chick from another nation, go to her family house and shit. They're trying to get you to go off, eat that bullshit, practice their ways, drink their fucking drinks and shit. And that shit, it fucked Jake up, had Jake all fucked up and thrown.
What was that boxer?
Keith Thurman.
Was it Keith?
He married an Indian bitch?
Yeah, that's the one.
Keith Thurman.
That nigga career never been the same.
Yeah.
The first fight he had after he married her, and he was bragging about it. He had pictures and photos, videos of him marrying her. She got on all that Indian shit, dot on her head.
Yeah, he had a dot on his head too.
The first fight after he married her, the nigga lost.
Yeah, because why? Because the Lord ain't with that nigga. He wasn't with that nigga with the joke, but he definitely ain't with you now. You done put yourself together with this demon.
Yeah.
This fucking heathen.
Never
and
been
you
the
took
same
on her
since.
ways, man. And that's the reason why the Lord told us not to marry the women of the other nations. Because, or not to give our daughters to the men of the other nations, especially our daughters, especially our sons, because they were going to turn their hearts from worshiping the Lord. You start worshiping them fucking idols, man.
Fuck your spirit up.
And then what? It throw you off, and then you in wickedness. Now you in a rebellious state against the Lord. It ain't that we can have these women from other nations. They were created for us, but they got to come under our vibration.
That's right.
Bitch, you worship Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in this house. If I ever found out you worshiping the idol, bitch, your head's coming off your shoulders.
And
Straight
that's
up.
the important thing to remember. They have to be under our vibration.
Not us under their vibration.
Under their vibration.
I was watching that show Shogun. You seen it?
I ain't seen it. I seen a little.
It was like a scene in
deep,
the first episode. I only watched one episode, but it was funny because it was a scene where you know, they caught this English dude, and then the other Japanese dudes, they didn't speak English, so the guy was walking, he was prisoner, and then one of the Christians that was Japanese came, and he was like trying to pray for the dude and whatever. And I mean, I took it spiritually, right? And one of the soldiers that was escorting the dude to the lead guy, just fucking out of nowhere took out a sword and whap, fucking cut that motherfucker's head off. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom, man. Whoever gets caught doing some stupid shit like that, worshiping an idol or some shit, yo, your head is coming off right away, bro.
It's gonna be known that you can't worship no other god.
Hell, fuck.
It's gonna be known in that day. We're gonna destroy all the monuments anyway. So let a nigga pop up and do some shit. It's gonna happen, bro, because you gotta make examples. You gotta have an example, nigga.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Back in 1 Maccabees 1 and verse 42, it says, and everyone should leave his laws, and so all the heathens agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, many of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
That was it too, but go to that same chapter, but go all the way up to it says, and it was wicked men amongst Israel. And in those days went out wicked men amongst Israel who persuaded.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Of 1 Maccabees 1 and 11, in those days when there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Yeah, because why? When we depart from doing what the heathen do, they put hell on us, right? They try to kill us. They try to prevent us from worshiping the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. But when we with them, they cool. They ain't got no problem. So why we gotta follow y'all, nigga? Y'all gotta follow us. But you see these heathens, they prefer it that way because they don't know the Lord. So they prefer to corrupt us than us to put them in the right spirit. Like they had them following after our custom. Or in the world to come, in the kingdom of heaven, which is gonna be here on earth, you nations, you won't be bound to our laws, statutes, and commandments. And you won't have to worship Yahweh Shema Shai. Right. And if you don't, there's going to be a judgment for that, right? Because your ways corrupt our ways. Our ways going to allow y'all to live.
Yeah, the ways of the heathens are pretty much lawlessness, man. You know, and then you, in reality, you really hate order. And that's why you don't want to come, you know, and serve the Israelites, man. Because you know that our power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, is a power of righteousness and order, man. Well, you're gonna have to, fuck you, whether you like it or not.
Yep. That was it, Ryan?
Yeah, that was it on that.
Wisdom of Solomon 12.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 and verse 1. For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. Therefore chastenest thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended.
And that's what we're doing now as the prophets. We're doing that now. We're telling Jake where they offended at. The Lord's spirit, his incorruptible spirit is in everything, even in heathens. But the heathens don't have his righteous spirit. Right? The heathens, they only know certain bits. And that's normally, they got to learn from the left side. But the Lord created all things, everything. Yeah. Keep reading. What you looking for something, brother?
Yeah, I was looking for, what was I looking for? Oh, I was just, in my mind, I was thinking of Ezekiel when you said we're warning 2/3. I was thinking of Ezekiel 37, watchmen. We're watchmen for Yahweh Shema Shai. Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 2. Therefore chastenest thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them.
Hey, even the heathen, they get chastened over a period of time too. We going into that. How the Canaanites were destroyed. Because really, they weren't set up to be there forever anyway. That land was set up for us. But they inhabited that land for a while. But while they inhabited that land, all they did was commit wickedness and whoredom. Keep reading.
Yeah, because Psalm 7:11 says too that the Lord is angry with the wicked every day. And punishment and judgment goes out every day. Not just to Jakes, but to these heathens. You know?
Yeah, Salakia, real quick. I was thinking that as well the other day. I was doing a lesson, and I'm like, damn, man, you know, the Lord, even though he he jacked up all these other heathen nations, man, like conquering and shit. But he really kind of like brought some sort of order, you know. Even though we understand this place is wicked, but like I was looking into like Japheth and their culture and shit. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers were wild, bro. Like eating people and shit, like killing their own kids if their firstborn wasn't a boy and shit. I'm like, these motherfuckers were crazy, bro.
And the same thing the Canaanites did.
Yeah,
he was there, and Jake got into that shit too.
Yeah. And the Lord used Esau to judge their ass, but brought some sort of order so that they weren't be so fucking wild. Can you imagine, bro? Before the Heavenly Father flooded the earth, bro, these motherfuckers must have been
flood behavior.
Wild.
Flood behavior was crazy, bro. That's why Elder Yashawama called what what's going on now with Jake and the rest of the world call it flood behavior, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. And before the flood, it was what? Violence was all over the earth. Niggas was killing each other. It was warring. They were destroying. They were committing all abominations. And the sons of God was right in the mix. In the mix with them heathens, man. And that's why the Lord flooded this place. He saved Noah and his household. But that was it. That's how bad it was, bro. The Lord was like, man, I'm like, fuck this place. I'm flooding this shit. This place is crazy. And the sons of God was amongst them too. Just like when the Lord brings this fire, Yasha Allah is going to be amongst these heathen too. The Israelites that follow the ways of the heathen, they're going to die right along with this system, right along with these heathen. Because you want to be a part of this. But the remnant is going to be saved. The remnant is likened unto Noah and his household.
That's by pain. Keep reading. Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 2. Therefore chastenest thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended.
The Lord using the prophets to do that this day. He's using us to do that. From the apostles to the bishop elders to the us on down. He's using us to warn Jake before the wrath comes. Keep reading.
That leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
That's for Israel today. Leaving your wickedness, you believe on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Keep reading.
For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land.
Yeah, because it was the Lord's will for us to destroy those old inhabitants by the hands of our father. The Lord set them heathens up. The Lord didn't just bring us on a heathen just to bring us on a heathen. You know, it wasn't like the heathen were doing the right thing and we took their land and we destroyed them. We tried to genocide them out. No. The Lord allowed them to do wickedness so they could be judged. He allowed us to be his judges. Just like he allowing the Edomites and the other nations to judge us for our iniquities right now. We were the judges for them. The land was set up for us from the jump. But the Lord didn't just say, you know what, go to that land, wipe them out, and y'all good. No. He said, wipe these motherfuckers out for what they're doing. Yeah. Their judgment had to reach a certain point, and then, their wickedness had to reach a certain point, and then judgment will come at a certain point. Just like in this society today. Wickedness is hitting a certain point amongst Israel and amongst these other nations. And to a point where the Lord gonna cap it off. He's gonna send his son, Yahweh.
Demons on bite.
He's gonna send his son, Yahweh Shah, with the holy angels and the elect to judge this place. Right? To take it over. Because now wickedness is, the scripture says in Revelation 18, the Lord have remembered their sins. Keep reading, bro.
And their sins have reached unto heaven. Verse 3, Wisdom of Solomon 12, for it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices.
That's why the Lord hated them, for the shit that they were doing. Read that again. Whom the Lord hated us.
Wisdom of Solomon 12, 4. Verse 4. Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works.
Look at the definition for odious.
Of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices.
And that's what they were doing. Most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices. And the same shit them Canaanites is doing today, the Edomites is doing today here and abroad. It's all over the earth. It ain't just America. It's everywhere. This shit, they got covens and witchcraft spots everywhere on the earth where these devils are at.
Because I was going to say, if it was happening back then, it's got to be happening today.
Yeah, so
know?
so how did Esau learn that shit? He learned that from the different nations. We're talking about his archaeologists, his thieves. He goes out, they find all of that shit. Their occultic priests like Aleister Crowley, right? And these people, they go find the ways of the ancient world, and they start doing this shit. And they start seeing that, oh, look, I get some type of benefit doing this wild shit. But look what you're doing. What benefit really is that? You know, it's destroying men, it's destroying yourself, it's destroying others.
I looked up, just out of curiosity, Aleister Crowley. Look at the face on that man.
Yeah, that nigga's a demon. He was a monster.
Yep.
He's a fucking demon.
Aleister Crowley.
Go back to what we was at, bro.
The definition.
Oh, yeah, go to odious.
Yeah, odious.
Odious definition, it says extremely unpleasant, repulsive.
Extremely unpleasant, repulsive, man. And as we read on, you're going to hear some of that repulsive shit. Because that's the shit that they're doing in this world today. Keep reading, Kyle.
So some of the synonyms, it says insufferable, intolerable, unacceptable, despicable.
Because the sacrifices that these heathen do were always unacceptable.
That's right.
A great example of that is Cain. His sacrifice was unacceptable in the eyes of the Lord. And these heathen, what do they do to get some type of spiritual favor or some spiritual guidance? They do unacceptable things, man. They kill children. They kill each other, men and women and children. They sexually assault men, women, and children. All right, they pervert. They pervert judgment. They pervert. Their actions are perverted. The foods that they sacrifice are abominable. They don't tell you that.
That's
Right? So these niggas is totally unacceptable, bro. See, but on the contrary, on the right-hand side, our sacrifice is acceptable. When we did the ancient sacrifices in the ancient world, towards the Gmshawaii, there were certain animals that had to be sacrificed at a certain point in that animal's life, and at a certain point. A certain thing. You had sin offerings. You had peace offerings, right? You had all these things, but these things were set up in a certain way, right? You couldn't just kill. You couldn't just kill. What is it called? What's veal?
Veal is when it's a young calf.
Yeah, you couldn't do that. You couldn't kill a young calf and offer it to the Lord, and you couldn't kill a blemished lamb, a fucked up lamb. You know, Esau would do that. You could not sacrifice a pig to the Lord, bro. That's what Antiochus did. That desolation, that caused desolation, right? This nigga, he went up into the holy spot, holy of holies, and put a pig on an altar, because that's how much he disdained the Lord, bro. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways to worship the Lord and to sacrifice unto Yahweh. And it's not the way that the heathen do. Like the brother had mentioned, the Japhites, the same shit them Canaanites did. All the other heathens do the same thing. At some point in their so-called evolution, they do the same shit.
Yeah.
And that's because the Lord ain't near them. And they trying to get some type of spiritual favor and some type of spiritual blessing, but it's just not there. Keep reading, bro.
Verse 5. And also those merciless murderers of children. So that 4, Wisdom of Solomon 12, verse 4, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices.
And the Lord hates you nations, bro, for that shit. He hates 2/3 right now for doing that shit. Keep reading.
And also those merciless murderers of children.
Those merciless murderers of children. That's you got that happening today amongst our people through abortion. They wholesale child murder and sacrifice, and they call it Planned Parenthood. Right? They had you paying for an abortion, the woman going out there getting a child murdered in her womb and sucked out her fucking vagina hole. Right?
And some of these so-called black women, they kill their children at 3, 4, 5 years old. So it's not just the abortions; it's after the child sacrifice
is a thing in this society, and they legalized it. Read it again.
Wisdom of Solomon 12, verse 4, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices. and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
like
feast
this.
of blood.
I'll read it again, brother.
Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 4, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, whom also thou merciless,
Yeah.
and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh, and the feast of blood.
No, read that all again. It's like it, brother.
And well, if brothers heard, but
You got a time to how long you been on here?
You know what? I forgot to turn mine on. Slack
That's right.
for today.
when I was in the world, kind of like coming into the truth, I would look into like witchcraft, like to see what these motherfuckers would do a lot. Not that I wanted to do that shit, but I was just like the
Hey,
spirit
well,
had
slack
to
it, bro. Being in this truth, you have to have knowledge of both, though. You ain't gotta go all into it. You ain't gotta go all into it.
No,
but you should know what's going on.
It wasn't like I wanted to do the witchcraft, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the spirit just had it to where, you know, I was curious about like why these motherfuckers doing all this wicked shit. But yeah, like
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Like you gotta know why people, what people are doing, and why they doing it.
That's right.
You got it, brother.
So yeah, like there was like I remember seeing this guy in England, I think it was, and it was like fuck, that shit had to be old because I remember the clothes that they were wearing was like from like back in the 80s or something. And the dude was interviewing this girl. She had to been like, bro, like 13 years old, 14 years old. And the dude was telling her like, oh, how was the experience? Because her grandma got put into jail for pretty much taking her into these witchcraft rituals and shit. And the girl was telling the dude how, well, they didn't show her on camera saying it, but the dude said it, and he was like, look, you know, I'm gonna say what she told me, but it's like something that a lot of people may not even imagine, that people are able to commit these type of crimes and odious works, you know. And the dude was saying how the girl, her grandma took her into these rituals and had like 20 men, you know, have sex with her at the same time, and she got pregnant. And that when she was like almost a full term, that they would take her into a ritual, bro, and pretty much do an abortion live while other people are watching her, and then make her eat her baby and pass the blood around and shit. And I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers, bro.
These are
like,
Jakes?
They were Edomites, the women that the girl and her grandma and whatever, they were Edomite looking. I don't know if they was Jakes. But I mean, this is all the things that these artists are doing, man. It's not, you know, it's not like they were doing it back then and now they're not doing these type of things. They're still doing it, man.
Stepped it up.
And I remember, I mean, I still have a fucking crazy hatred for warlocks and shit, bro. But when I would watch that a lot, like, there was something in my spirit that said, like, man, and I wasn't in the truth at the time, but something in my spirit was like, man, something that, like, I grew a great hatred for was warlocks, man, because they did all that shit to kids. Now I understand it's judgment, but still, like, for you to have that type of spirit, man, you gotta be like a wicked motherfucker. That's why fuck these Jakes that do all this wickedness, man. The Lord got a great judgment for you motherfuckers, man. Because to be able to willingly say, yeah, I'm gonna do all this wicked shit, man. Hey, the Lord got a great judgment for you, and whatever it is, man. Hey, call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man, because you motherfuckers are wicked as shit.
Yeah, and that's why, and that shit go on. It like the people that get the eye put on them is the ones that you call celebrities and superstars, because you believe that these people are above reproach, and then you find out the shit that they doing, it bugs you out. But you niggas is doing this shit on a low level too. You go all in and out of South America. You go all in and out of the Caribbean islands, West Africa, America, where Jake is at, and y'all niggas doing the same shit. You might not be getting the same. You might not be getting the same benefit or outcome that somebody on a higher level that's doing it, but you're still doing it, right? And again, that's why the judgment's gonna come upon you, man.
That's right.
The judgment for being a witch or a warlock amongst our people is death, right? So a lot of you motherfuckers gonna get put to death, you know. And you doing this shit unknowingly, you doing this shit knowingly, you still gonna get the same judgment. You had something, bro?
Yeah, I was reading this Good News Translation, Wisdom of Solomon 12. It starts in verse 3. I don't know why they omitted verse 4.
They do that a lot in the GNT.
But what you were speaking of, it sounds exactly what I'm reading right here. Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 3. You wanna
Go ahead,
wanna
just
read
read it real
it?
quick.
Verse 3. You hated the people who lived in your holy land long ago because they did horrible things. They practiced magic and conducted unholy worship.
Hey, well, that's the same thing they do today. And the Lord hates them today.
Yep.
The dumb of our people and the other nations that do that shit.
It says,
Salakia, brother.
Oh,
That's
you got
why the nations ain't. That's why the nations, you're not weighted in the eyes of the Lord. You're less than nothing, because this is the shit that you do, and the things that you've done have become a stumbling block for the souls of men, with men, the souls of Israelite men, right? And so they think that they got to do that shit in order to get the pleasures of this world, not realizing that, hey, the Lord gives and takes away. The Lord maketh rich, the Lord maketh poor. The Lord giveth life and He taketh life. So who the fuck are you? Them heathens and their wicked priests on the left hand side, they're not doing nothing that really move the Lord. Everything they do is making the Most High angry. The brother brought it out. The Most High is angry with the wicked every day. The wicked of our people, as well as Esau, Edom, which is the wicked, and the rest of you fucking heathens, man.
every day. Verse 5. They killed children without mercy.
They kill children without mercy, and you see that. I think one of you brothers had mentioned that Israelite women do the same shit too.
Yeah,
to
they
their
do.
children.
Yeah.
Like you see that shit. You see, this one chick, she killed her daughter by leaving her in her house of stars, bro. And then she took a trip to Puerto Rico. The bitch went to Puerto Rico, left her daughter in Cleveland in the fucking house,
I remember that.
fucked up. And then, bro, every time something happens to a child, bro, it hurts me, bro. Like it's really difficult for me to watch the shit, and I get really frustrated. One, because I have my own children, but two, is because like these children, they're helpless, bro. You know, even if it is judgment for what they've done, it's still helpless.
It's
like
still
damn,
innocent,
bro.
yeah.
Like this one dude, this Edomite, he got with this black woman recently, and he murdered her 3-year-old daughter. He raped her to death, bro. He raped the baby to death, bro.
Wow.
And this nigga standing in the court like this with his head down. I'm like, man, you should have killed that nigga, man. You should have took his fucking head off his shoulders right then and there, bro. But Esau's wicked. This nigga will take a nigga to court. Oh, we gotta have the evidence to get him through. No, and then you had this nigga rotting in jail forever in the day.
Eating 3 fucking meals.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck that, man. That nigga's supposed to be put to death, bro. And that go for Edomite, that go for Israelite, that go for the other heathens. You do this shit, nigga, it's death. But hey, none of us are guiltless in this world. All of us are guilty. But goddamn, bro, like this is going on. So the same shit that happened yesterday is the same shit that happening today.
That's right. Absolutely. Verse 5. They killed children without mercy and ate the flesh and blood of human beings.
And they do the same thing at that, especially at the super elite level, bro. Them Rothschilds and Rockefellers, they doing all of that shit. It is nothing to them. Blood is nothing to them. Murder is nothing to them. Theft, robbery, lies, it's nothing to them.
That's wickedness. Yeah. It says, in which parents murdered their own defenseless children. It was your will for our ancestors to destroy these people.
It was our will. It was Yahweh Shah's will for us to do it, man. What niggas gave them a pass. You heard about when we established Israel, different tribes still had Canaanites amongst them, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they became a snare unto our people, bro. You gonna let these niggas live for what? The Lord said, wipe their ass the fuck out, man. Wipe them out.
That's what right. So to do to the Amalekites.
All it's part of the story. It was supposed to happen because this was going to get us. But what happened? We end up instituting their cultural aspects and their idolatry amongst our people, and then it got us kicked out of the land. So they became a stumbling block to our people.
And now we know, you know, all those things happened to ultimately get us here, and now we know the whole truth, man. And now we know, like, yo, we're not accepting no wickedness, man. No. Like, we want Yahweh Shem Yahushua to establish righteousness as he planned from the beginning, man. That's why, you know, I mentioned, like, there's nothing that you could give the hopeful elect, man, to buy us out, man, because fuck this shit, man. Yeah. Fuck all the wickedness, all the, like, the elder mentioned, man, everything that you taught Jay of how to be happy and enjoy, all of that is wickedness, man. In wickedness, we want happiness and righteousness, man. And that's only gonna happen when this kingdom comes down and Yahweh Hashem Yahushai establishes the kingdom of heaven here on earth.
Yeah, man, and it's a necessity, bro, because this shit is destroying us every day. It's destroying us. Even if we try to do the right thing, we still got to contend with this bullshit, bro. It shouldn't be this hard to enact righteousness. It should not be this hard. But it's hard because the rulers of this world.
Yeah.
It's hard because the nations of this world. None of you nations know the Lord. You don't know righteousness. You need to be taught righteousness, bro, with a hard stick. And that's why I see why Apostle Hard came down so hard when I did a video yesterday speaking about how the nation's gonna be blessed through Israel. No, fuck that. The nations ain't gonna be blessed no more. Right? We gonna be blessed.
That's right.
The Israelites are gonna be blessed. And to be blessed meaning somebody bow to you. We ain't bowing to these other nations, and these other nations ain't gonna be bowing to each other. They're gonna bow to us, man.
That's right.
Right? Why? Because these niggas, these motherfucking nations, look at what you're doing with your blessing. Look what you're doing. Look at the Catholic Church. That is a fucking cesspool of everything the brothers reading right here happens in that fucking church,
That's
bro.
right. Yeah.
Everything the brothers reading right there happens in that fucking church, and you motherfuckers bowing to that motherfucking devil. That he could be wrong. I don't know what he is, but he an Edomite with the Pope.
Yeah.
And he ain't the only one. All them niggas in that fucking whorehouse is like that. And then they break it down to different sects of Christianity, right? And they flow down and they do the same shit. So no, you nations ain't gonna get fucking blessed. You in your blessing now. Now look what you doing. It's over for you motherfuckers, bro.
That's right.
Yep.
It's over, man. The Lord didn't create the earth to be. It's like we living in the fucking world of Canaan right now. The Canaanites, the Canaanite world right now, bro.
Worse than them.
Yeah, because he's
Way worse.
Esau had to learn that shit from somewhere. It stemmed from the fucking Hamites. Then it go to other nations, and now Esau got it. And look what he's doing with it. He's doing the same thing y'all did, but he's doing it on an industrial level. Wickedness is on an industrial level, man.
Worldwide.
Keep reading, bro.
Verse 6, in which parents murdered their own defenseless children, it was your will for our ancestors to destroy these people, so that the land, which you consider the most precious of all lands, would be a suitable home for your people.
Yeah, let's go back to the KJV version.
Come.
That's right. And like the scriptures say, that the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed unless by the blood of those that shed it. You know.
And that's why judgment's coming to America.
That's right.
That's exactly why judgment is coming to this place. Because this place is full of blood and robbery of the saints. Right? And so this place got to be judged. The only way Esau could, well, he ain't going to get out of it, but the only way that Esau can really compensate for what he did to us is by him being put in the condition that he put us in. That means your land got to be destroyed. You got to be taken out of it. All your wealth got to be taken from you. Your armies got to be destroyed. The wiser people got to be destroyed. And you got to go into captivity. You got to go into hardcore slavery. Right? When you Edomites get into hardcore slavery, starting with your super elites, it's going to, like the brother mentioned it earlier, it's going to be no mercy.
No mercy.
And why is it going to be no mercy? Is it because we are merciless people? No, it's because you're merciless. No mercy shall be shown in him that show no mercy. And you heathen nations, you ain't show us no mercy.
Yeah.
So nah, man, y'all motherfuckers gonna get it.
The scriptures say, he who leadeth into captivity
Shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Right. Revelation 13, 10.
And we're being patient, we're suffering. You know, that word patient has two meanings: to wait, and we're waiting on the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, and at the same time we're suffering.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, because like,
you know?
bro, like you could tell that we're different men than these other men. Because when we read stuff like this, bro, and we hear things that the brother was saying, bro,
we feel
it it hurt, bro.
Oh,
That shit
yeah.
hurt, bro. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even when we was doing this shit in ignorance, you know, you get a bitch knocked up, you like, oh, bitch, go get an abortion. No, man. No, and then you see the shit that woman got to go through, and then most important, what the child got to go through. They got the shit on YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is a hard watch, bro. And we live in a society where gore and all that other shit is highly fucking pushed, bro. But when you see that shit happen, man, especially like what?
We've seen it live, because we've all seen the birth of our child.
Yeah, man.
You know?
It's fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Keep reading, bro.
Yeah. Verse 6, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help.
And that's why the Lord kicked them Canaanites out of the land. And he ended up kicking us out of the land for the same shit. Jake was doing that too. Jake ended up doing that. Sacrificing their children to Molech. Putting them in the fire. Putting them in fire, bro. Burning a baby alive, bro. Thinking that it's going to give you some type of spiritual gifts or some spiritual power. When the Lord gave you spiritual gifts and power, that wasn't good enough. So he said, no, I'm just killing baby.
Been watching that shit.
And now you niggas do it out of convenience now. You don't even get no fucking blessing from the shit. You just destroy yourself. You know how many women walking around here guilty of fucking murder?
Yep.
You know how many men walking? You talk about the men killing each other and shooting each other. Well, you women, man, your womb is a killing field, man. And you walk around here proud about it. Yeah, girl. Oh, girl, yeah. Mm-hmm. What is it? Kill his baby. Yeah, I don't want him. You know what I'm saying? You just kill, like, you be like, what? Fuck them kids.
Yep.
Yeah, but just like, oh, I got 6, 7 abortions and
yeah,
shit.
like you proud about that shit.
Fucking hoes.
You proud about that shit. But that's okay, because you're going to die in your pride. At least you repent. Keep reading, bro.
Verse 7, that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a worthy colony of the Most High's children.
Yep.
Nevertheless, even those thou sparedest as men, and didst send wasps, forerunners of thine host, to destroy them by little and little.
Because the Lord ain't just send an army of Israel to wipe them out right over. It took time. As their sins took time to build up, the Lord would plague them. Just like he's doing in America today. America's being plagued little by little until the ultimate plague comes, which is the nuclear missiles, man. Mm-hmm. The same thing happening is going to happen here. But instead, this place being rebuilt and it's being a colony, this place ain't a worthy colony. I mean, this place ain't a worthy place for a worthy colony of the Lord's people. Mm-hmm. A colony is not a whole bunch of people, it's a small amount of people that you send out forth. And that's what the remnant of the elect is. When we go back to our homeland in Israel, that land is going to be wiped out. That land is going to be rebuilt. Mm-hmm. But it has to be cleansed first. Because all the bloodshed that's going on over there is out of order. All the wickedness and evil, all the satanic rituals and shit, that place got to go. That fucking wall that you niggas hump on, it gotta be, man, that shit gonna be demolished. That fucking dome of the rock sitting in the middle of Jerusalem, that shit's gonna be demolished, man.
That's right.
Right? Your whole infrastructure is gonna be destroyed, bro. Because this whole infrastructure is satanic in nature.
This place is cursed.
This place gotta go, man. And it's fucked up, man. But hey, it's the way it is. Let the Lord's will be done. Like High Priest Elder Yaquab said, man, we had to go experience the negative so we can go into the positive, man. That's right. This place is an open air classroom for the sons of Israel, for the elect of Israel right now. Because we're going to be the next rulers. Lord, when we part of the elect, we're going to be the next rulers of the society to come. And it's going to be a righteous society under Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, King David, the rest of the 12 apostles, and the rest of the 144,000. The governing body.
Yeah.
That's right.
And when the Lord gives us that understanding, you just have to embrace it and learn from it and continue to do your due diligence to make your calling and election sure. Anything else is you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna be part of the hopeful elect.
Everything in this world showed you that it's nothing but a failure.
It's nothing but a failure.
Right? You done tried everything else. You done tried all the idols. You done tried all the sacrifices, and that shit ain't do nothing for you. Now it's time to come home and be with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Try the Lord.
That's right. This Wisdom of Solomon 14:12, it says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention thereof the corruption of life.
Isn't one where it says for this is the call? Oh, you got it.
Yeah, kind of jumping down to verse 27.
Oh, no, let's break that down that you just read.
Okay, kind of.
What you just read.
Wisdom of Solomon 14:12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
That's where it started at. All this behavior that you see people are doing today, it comes from idolatry. We talking about the sacrificing of children. That comes from idolatry, right? That's where it started at. We talk about people being prideful, worshiping money. That came from idolatry. All of that shit, everything, the murderers, the lies, the robbery, the deceit, all of that shit comes from idolatry. That's where it stems from. And now people have made idolatrous behavior a normality in this world. That shit is normal. It's like, oh, that's just whatever. Even down to the eating of the abominable foods.
Yeah.
That shit was sacrifices that they was given to these idols. Now it's become a delicacy in society.
And you even see, like, you know, drug cartels, they about to fucking kill somebody and they're like, go and commit murder.
Yep.
Like, fuck,
Obeah man, you West Africans, you got the Obeah man, you Caribbean Jakes, you got the Obeah man. You said, like Elder, I love this quote Elder Ricardo Clemens said. He said, it always works until it doesn't. All that witchcraft shit work until it doesn't work. You got the nigga that put so many demons on him, you shooting at this dude and it's like he's impenetrable, like what the fuck? You know what I mean? But until that one day, that bullet go through them demons and strike you in your fucking head and you dead.
That's right.
It always works until it don't work. And now you about to come into that position. What that nigga Diddy suffering, it's nothing more than that. All of the sacrifices he did, it worked until it didn't work.
That's right.
All that bloody drink, all that sexual immorality and fornication that this nigga did, all of that shit, it worked until it don't work.
That's right.
Hey, they was like it, but they got out that nigga Chris Brown, some bitch saying that the nigga took her in his crib and raped her up. A lot of you niggas, all you niggas are getting it, man. This nigga talking about some women need to have Diddy. Now all the shit, all the what they call it, the Diddy shit, the pause moments that Diddy had on these interviews, that shit's starting to resurface now, man. And now they're starting to say that this nigga's a creep. He was always a creep, man. Yeah. But y'all was smiling and laughing. Esau was smiling and laughing with you. You just thought it was a joke. Come to find out, man, this nigga's really like that.
Yep, that's what I was saying in the car with the brother. Now people figuring out or seeing that all the time he was just an asshole. Mm-hmm. And nobody loves an asshole.
Demon. Nobody likes an asshole, right? Nobody likes an asshole. How he treat people and shit. Yeah. He yelling at people. Why he do that? Because he was prideful. He had the pride of man on him. Yeah. He thought he couldn't be stopped.
When he had them shows, them reality shows, I think one he had was Danity Kane or something. Mm-hmm. Man, the way I used to watch it off and on. But the way he used to be yelling at them young girls, man, that shit was totally off.
It was uncalled for.
It was uncalled for.
You don't even have to be there. And then they get on Dame Dash for being that way. Nigga, all y'all like that, bro.
They're all assholes.
Yeah, like a nigga just be talking to people with respect, man. No, these people don't have respect for one another. They think that their respect comes from the shit that they have and their longevity in that wicked ass world. Meanwhile, Leor Cohen goes back and laugh at you niggas, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, because he's a fucking super devil. Mm-hmm. And y'all just watch you niggas fall, man. Yeah, all you niggas, his homeboy Russell Simmons went out that way, man. That's niggas, he ran a Bali. This nigga's in Bali. He said that now when people come and hang out with him, his friends hang out with him, his friends are getting accosted or his friends are getting berated for being around this nigga. So they shouldn't have to go through this. These are my friends. Just because they come visiting, I'll be in New York next week. You know what I'm saying? This weirdo shit. No, nigga, you a demon.
Demons on him too.
You a demon.
And no matter where you go, if the Lord want to get you, he'll reel your ass back.
Yeah, nigga, Bali ain't gonna save your black ass, nigga. You doing that yoga pose in the middle of Bali, nigga. Nigga, you an idolatrous demon. You gonna die. You definitely gonna get it, yo. Him, your brother, Run DMC, nigga. All the niggas, they all his daughters, his sons, all of them niggas are gonna die.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
It says, Wisdom of Solomon 14:12, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life.
Yeah, that's right. The invention of them end up corrupting life, man. And that's what you have going on down here.
Down in verse 27, it says, Wisdom of Solomon 4:27, for the worshiping of idols, not to be named, is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
And that's what it is. For the worship of the idols, not to be named, is the beginning and the cause of all evil. All of the end. And in the end. In the end. Because what happens in the end? You get judged. And you get destroyed.
Goodbye.
That's right. Like the brother said. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? That's where it all comes from. It all comes from that, man. Read that portion again, brother.
Wisdom of Solomon 14:27. For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
And that's what happens. From all the worshiping of idols, that's what I destroy. Can you get that precept where it says that there's going to be a visitation on all the idols? A visitation on all the idols. There should be a visitation. There shall be a visitation on all idols. You got it, brother. Oh, saying the same precept? Hey, that's the spirit, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 11. It says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of the Most High they became an abomination and a stumbling block to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise.
And those people are the Israelites. That's the reason why the Lord going to visit all these idols. It's just like he destroyed Bel and the dragon. He humiliated Bel and the dragon in front of those worshipers by using the prophet Daniel, right? He gonna do the same thing in this time, man. And when we get that spiritual power and we come out of them chariots, bro, we gonna go all around the world destroying all them idols. And it's a bunch of them, bro. Huge. I mean, these edifices are so fucking big, bro. And we gonna reduce them shits to rubble, bro. All that shit, we gonna go to the Mecca. We gonna turn that fucking cobblestone into a pebble, nigga. We gonna go to fucking Rio de Janeiro and turn that big ass fucking Christ of the Andes into fucking rubble, nigga, and pebbles, nigga. All these idols, all them pyramids, all that shit gonna be destroyed, bro. You ain't going in the kingdom of heaven. You ain't gonna have not one nation digging in the ground, picking that bullshit up. There ain't gonna be no idol left and hold. Them big ass Buddhas, you know what I'm saying? Them golden Buddhas hanging around the fucking place. The stone monuments hanging around the place. We gonna visit them shits. We gonna destroy them, bro. We gonna destroy all that shit.
That's right.
And nigga, there's not gonna be no remembrance of no more idols, man. And you better not ever bring no idol name up. If you do, your head's gonna explode, nigga. Scripture says you're gonna meditate terror.
Yep, there's gonna be a lot of examples to make.
Straight up, man, because that shit has been nothing but stumbling blocks to the unwise of our people. And that nigga Diddy is an unwise man. He's unwise. Anybody that follow his way, all of those ways, all them niggas are unwise, man. You wise in your own conceit, but nigga, you really stupid in the eyes of the Lord.
Wise to do evil, but to do
good, you don't know how. That's what that will give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders. Shalom to the elect till next week. Shalom.
Shalom.